is over 6'5". That's not good. And we take a look at the Memphis Tigers. Their lineup: Johnson, Jackson, Thomas, Stevens, and Goodwin. Their win over Houston, their last game, gave them their 350th in their history. One of three to win 350, joining Duke and Kansas in the Southern Miss lineup. Brooks, Watkins, Davis, Mills, and Boardingham. And I think if you are obviously Southern Miss, you are concerned that Memphis is a better athletic team. You don't have the height that they have.
Well, Ron, without question, if you're Southern Miss, you want to get off to a good start, especially after the last game, because certainly Memphis comes in here with some confidence of their ability to handle the Southern Miss pressure. Southern Miss wants to make sure that they get off to an exceptionally good start to establish themselves right from the gun.
Well, there's Donnie Tyndall in his first year, very successful at Morehead State. Most wins by a first-year head coach in Southern Miss history. As we take a look at the snapshot on Memphis, second longest winning streak in the nation. Akron holds down the #1 spot. 13 straight 20-win seasons. Josh Pastner, of course, in his fourth year, winning as coach in Memphis history in his first 4 years. 5 more wins, believe it or not, in that span than John Calipari. Pretty impressive as we take a look at the season history between these two teams. And as we mentioned, this is the 90th meeting between these two squads. Memphis has won 19 of the last 20 games between the two. Only Memphis loss came last season. And we are underway in Memphis. Both teams play extremely hard in the opening half. Both score a lot of points in the opening half as opposed to the second.
It looks like Southern Miss is out in the 1-3-1. Look for them to change their defenses a lot. Ron, trying to keep this Memphis team off balance.
Thomas, who has been hot as of late, hits the three. Only his 17th of the year. Last 2 games, he's had 23 and 22 points.
And the thing about him is he's so versatile. You see him defensively picking up and doing a great job with that as well as the scoring.
And last game for Southern Miss, they beat UTEP 45-39. Fewest points of the year. First time they held somebody under 40 since 2002 against UAB, which shows just how good defensively this team is. Mills, not a big offensive threat. Out top to Davis, shot clock at 5. Thomas tries to stay with him, penetrates, got the deuce. You and I were in practice yesterday, and that's what they were worried about.
Exactly. But Southern Miss is going to have to be able to finish at the rim because the guards are not going to come off, so give them easy jump shots.
Nice pass inside. Good win to DJ Stephens.
Stephens is an amazing athlete. I've never seen anybody with that type of explosiveness in a long time.
A little scrum underneath. Possession arrow will belong to Southern Miss, and the scrum continues.
Well, I can tell you, Jonathan Mills is not going to give the ball up until the referee takes it out of his hand.
I'll tell you, it is going to be a battle today. Here's Jonathan Mills. I tell you, he is the quintessential player for this Southern Miss team. Donnie Tyndall says it's his favorite player who's underneath the pile there because he plays so aggressively.
Without question. But also, Shaq Goodwin is the same for Memphis. It should be a heck of a battle between those two guys.
Watson to trigger it in. Davis, people wanted a travel. He goes inside again for 2. Davis averaging just under 14 a game this season.
That's going to be important for the Memphis bigs to be able to step up and take charges or either challenge shots at the rim.
Well, Davis already with 4 points. He only had 6 points in his last game. Stephens just throws it away. First turnover of the ballgame. Go back to the pass from Goodwin to DJ Stephens.
One of the things we talked about earlier is Memphis' ability to assist, and that was a pass from Goodwin to Stephens, and that's what they're doing a lot better this year, Ron, than they did a year ago.
61% of Memphis's baskets have come off assists. That is impressive. Davis, he has been the offense. Use that up and down move a lot. This time he is fouled by Adonis Thomas.
Thomas is going to have to square his feet and not allow him to penetrate. On Thomas's stance, he's kind of in a parallel, a boxer stance, so he's getting sliced. He's got to be more parallel and keep him going sideline to sideline because Davis right now is really attacking the basket.
And Davis, interestingly enough, he originally signed with Morehead State to play with, obviously, Donnie Tyndall when he was head coach at Morehead State. He left after a semester, shall we say. The relationship didn't work. And then all of a sudden, Donnie becomes head coach. We've got double technicals, or double fouls at least. And it's going to be a Boardingham and I think Goodwin.
I tell you, Goodwin is Memphis equivalent to Mills. I tell you, Goodwin has really helped this Memphis team with his energy level and his aggressiveness.
Well, it is double technicals on Goodwin and Boardingham. I like that, the fact that these officials are going to take control of this game. They understand it's going to be physical from the get-go. John Higgins, Raymond Stiens, and Roderick Dixon.
We have a really good officiating.
Yes, we do. That's going to be an offensive foul on Johnson. That'll be his first personal foul. Already the 13th foul on Memphis.
One of the things Memphis and what has made them so much better defensively, you look at the size of their perimeter guys with Thomas and Stephen and Johnson. They can match up pretty much and make switches on the perimeter because all those guys are pretty much the same size.
Boardingham wants the ball, finally gives it, gets it back up to Watson. Dribble penetration, switches to the left hand, Neil Watson. And we've got a whistle. And I think they're maybe calling delay of game on Neil Watson. What a play, though, by Watson.
I take tremendous penetration. And this is the thing that now Memphis has to be careful of, because if we watched them practice, Josh told them, do not come over and overhelp, but they're giving guys driving lanes all the way to the basket, so they've got to compensate for that.
Give it up inside, and Shaquille Goodwin will be fouled on the play. It'll be fouled by Mills. That'll be his first personal foul.
Joe Jackson does such a great job, Ron, of understanding when to shoot, when to pass, and getting other people involved. I think a much better job this year than a year ago, and I think that's one of the major reasons for this Memphis streak.
And according to Josh Pastner, another big reason is the play of Shaq Goodwin, freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia. And Josh telling us that he's just passing the ball so much better right now, playing defense. You see his numbers, but he scored only 10 points the last 3 games. And he misses both, and that hurts. Watson quickly. In about 16 minutes, we'll see Southern Miss make mass substitutions. Davis is shot off the mark. Goodwin gives it up to Jackson. Thomas on the drive, switches to the right hand. It's going to be a blocking foul. That'll be on Boardingham.
That's the thing that Thomas has brought to this ball club. You saw him knock down a 3. Now you see him put the ball on the floor and attack the basket. He's tough to scout and defend because he's capable of doing so many things offensively.
Well, Boardingham picks up his second personal foul, so Donnie Tyndall's going to have to go to the bench. Thomas makes the first. And Adonis Thomas, the sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee. Played only 19 games last year, and this is what he has done in conference games. +3 on points. He's kicked his game up a notch.
Well, he really has. And he's a guy that is able to score, and you don't have to run a lot of plays for him because he gets it out of the flow of the offense.
Davis to Watson. Watson doesn't shoot as much as he did last year, but he's become even a better facilitator. Mays driving on Goodwin. Stephens goes high for the rebound, comes out of it, but hands it off to Jackson. And Thomas will direct traffic. Donnie Tyndall will bring in Rashard McGill next break in the action. Stephens the 2. Here comes Davis out of Philadelphia via Midland Community College. Watson on Jackson, 2 of the best point guards in Conference USA. Davis over Johnson, a little strong. Stephens to Thomas. Thomas floats in the air, can't get it. Rebound, Thomas can't come up with it. Davis does. Brooks loses the handle. It'll belong to Memphis. We are inside of 16 minutes, and we're going to have a timeout. Southern Miss, number 2.
Forceful influence in this Southern Miss program.
And some of the numbers on Coach Tyndall. You know, he took Morehead State to the NCAA tournament in 08-09. That broke a string of 25 years without going to the Big Dance. Outstanding basketball coach. And now Memphis trying to regain the advantage. From the outside, Chris Crawford with the 3.
And that was against the 1-3-1. And one of the things with Memphis is anybody can play point guard. Sometimes it's Jackson, and it doesn't have to be. And I think that's what gives the shooters a better opportunity to get open shots.
Well, Crawford had 4 3-pointers made versus Southern Miss in the first meeting between these two. Rejection by DJ Stephens. 60 blocks on the year for Stephens. Crawford. Tarek Black tries to keep it alive. Can't. McGill gives it up to Mills. All of Southern Miss's points have come in the paint as Norville Carey, the freshman out of the British Virgin Islands, with his first 2 were knotted at 10. Norville Carey now 6 for 6 from the floor in the last 3+ games he's played.
Memphis is very patient against the zone, and they surround it with shooters, and then they have Black in the middle, so you can't extend too much because you isolate Black.
Johnson thought about the jump shot. Shot clock at 7. Black inside, can't get it. And here comes Southern Miss again. Tied up at 10. Just about 6 minutes gone by here in the first 20. Baseline jumper in and out. Johnson out of Dayton, Ohio. Inside DJ Stephens.
And that's what I mean, Ron. Johnson that time took the point and created the pass that got the layup. Memphis has multiple guys that can initiate their offense.
4 field goals made for Memphis, 4 assists for Memphis. Mills, not a big offensive threat from that point. Memphis talked about that yesterday. In fact, Josh Pastner said if the bigs hit the 3, it's on the coach. Let him go. Mills with 6 to shoot. Inside, nice dish, losing the handle. Tarek Black comes down with it. Johnson gives it up. Jackson, no. Watson. Jackson goes high for the rebound. Last touch by Southern Miss. Memphis will have it. And here comes the substitutions again for the Golden Eagles. Davis will come back into the lineup. Also checking back in, Gerald Brooks.
One of the things that, again, is so impressive with Memphis is the fact that they have so many people that can enter their offense, which allows other guys to be in good shooting position like Jackson, Johnson, Crawford. Last year, Jackson or Crawford always had to initiate, and this year, because they have multiple guys. Conversely, Southern Miss is really attacking the basket, Ron, which is surprising because the fear was that they were going to hit perimeter shots, and I think Memphis is overcompensating with that.
Well, here comes the press by Southern Miss. Adonis Thomas triggering it into Black. Crawford to Black. Thomas to Johnson. Good job. Johnson, nice pass inside, and foul from behind is Tarek Black.
Ron, it's tough to pressure a team that has good ball handlers because with this Memphis team, whether or not it's Crawford, Johnson, or Jackson, it doesn't matter. They all can handle the ball and make the next pass. There you see them moving the basketball. There you see attacking and finding Black underneath. And they're all very, very unselfish.
There's Tarek Black going to the line, only 51% on the year from the stripe. Last 3 games, even worse than that. But that looked pretty good. Averaging 9 points, just under 5 rebounds a ball game. The junior from right here in Memphis, Tennessee, Ridgeway High School.
and he's coming in off the bench because there was a substitution made early in the season, and Memphis kept winning, and Josh kept bringing him in off the bench.
And they want to keep him out of foul trouble, too, since they've been DQ'd 3 games this season. Memphis by 3. They've got an 8-2 run going over the last 4 minutes and 4 seconds. That's going to be a travel. That'll be the 3rd turnover on the Golden Eagles. Donnie Tyndall's squad coming in, averaging just under 16 turnovers a game, but they force almost 19. They're +3 in turnovers.
And that's very important to them, to allow them to be able to score, and so far they haven't been able to do that.
Jonathan Mills will come back in for Southern Miss next break. Good ball movement. Nice defense, Southern Miss, forcing Memphis to turn it over. That is 3 turnovers on the Tigers, and a whistle and a foul. Not a good foul. That'll be on Crawford, his first.
Now, that was a little frustration foul right there, and that's the first time I thought Memphis tried to make a play that wasn't there.
I mean, you look at Southern Miss, 10 points in the ball game, 8 have come in the paint. Aaron Johnson goes out of the lineup for Memphis.
The way they're initiating their offense is throwing the ball into the post guy and kind of letting him make a play.
One thing Josh Pastner stressed yesterday, don't let him beat us on the outside as Mills takes one to the face. We're inside of 12 minutes. That means a timeout. 11:53 left to play in the first half. Good ball game so far. Number 1 versus number 2 in Conference USM.
For over a century, they've been drawn here, searching for inspiration and the freedom to express themselves. Today, at the heart of the city, a haven for the spirit lives on. A place where curiosity is transformed into unexpected creativity, where a little ingenuity leads to a world of opportunity. Here, generations discover what it means to dream, to think, and to do. The University of Memphis.
My boyfriend and I were going on vacation, so I used my Citi Thank You card to pick up some accessories. A new belt, some nylons, and what girl wouldn't need new shoes? And with all the points I've been earning, I was able to get us a flight to our favorite climbing spot, even on a holiday weekend. Things are definitely looking up.
With no blackout dates, you can use your Citi Thank You points to travel whenever you want. Visit Citi.com/thankyoucards to apply.
Today on MSG, it's an SEC showdown as Tennessee takes on Texas A&M. Today at 4 on MSG Network. Sunday, division rivals collide at the Garden as the Knicks look to take the season series over the Sixers. Knicks, Sixers. Live coverage begins Sunday at 6:30, only on MSG.
Memphis with a 3-point lead in this battle of the top 2 teams in Conference USA, and a player you almost always have to keep an eye on when you're talking about Memphis is Joe Jackson. Ron and Perry have already talked about how many different things he does for this team, his decision making, and as we take a look at our State Farm State of Success player profile, these are some of Joe's numbers for the season, and it's pretty interesting. He's in pretty good company because the only other player in Conference USA history to average 13 points per game, 4 assists, and 50% field goal shooting, Dwayne Wade. Pretty good guy. Now, Joe Jackson, no points so far, but 2 rebounds. And you remember yesterday in practice, Ron, the way that Joe was rebounding, and Josh Pastner said, if you rebound like that, you're going to add 25 years to my life.
He said he's going to live to 100. He goes, well, maybe not 100. Joe Jackson can sky. Talking to Joe before the game, and I said, hey, numbers are great, partner. He thinks you haven't seen anything yet.
Ron, the confidence and the versatility of this Memphis team is what the thing to me that makes them special.
And here comes Mills backing down. Goodwin uses the left hand. There's Jackson on the rebound. He averages 3 rebounds a ball game. From the outside, Thomas hit his first shot, misses that one. Black, he has his shot rejected. Ball will belong to Southern Miss.
Ron, they didn't score that time, but you have to like this possession, how aggressive they are, where they got the basketball. Black's not going to miss that very often, so Josh has to be proud of that offensive possession, even though they didn't score.
I tell you, Southern Miss's defense is suffocating. Got off to their best conference start ever. Dropped 2 straight. They've come back to win 3 in a row. From the outside, Brooks' shot.
And I tell you, when they go to the half-court set, Southern Miss, they use the ball screens and pick and roll a lot to get good looks, and Brooks buried that 3.
And we're tied up again. 3rd tie of the ball game. Boy, they just don't let the shooters get any space. And again, they almost force a turnover. Jackson has it rejected by Boardingham. Watson quickly gives it up. Davis deep in the corner for 3. Offensive rebound, put back, no. Mills fights for it. Davis is going to be fouled. He was a little out of control when he threw that shot up.
Great offensive execution that time by Southern Miss. We talked at the top how they have to be able to rebound, and on that particular play, they out-rebounded Memphis.
And that foul, by the way, was on Tariq Black. That is his 2nd personal foul. And Davis at the line with 25 versus Memphis, first meeting between the two. Jen, you've got a lot more on Dwayne Davis.
Well, Ron, you talked about it earlier, how Dwayne actually played for Donnie Tyndall at Morehead State. And when we talked to Coach Tyndall, he said, yeah, I basically had to ask him to leave the program because he didn't have his academics in order. And I talked to Dwayne, and he admitted it. He said, yeah, I had a lot of growing up to do. And when he found out that Donnie Tyndall was going to be his new head coach, he said it was like a slap in the face. Here we go again. But he made sure to tell his new/old head coach how much he had grown. And he's proved it to him and been a big part of this team this season.
And I think Donnie's more proud of the fact that Davis on track to graduate in May. After the miss, Memphis cannot keep it alive. Johnson doing everything he can. And Davis understands, I think, Jen, kind of following up with that, and also Perry, that this is his only year of Division I basketball. He knows this is it after this season. He's going to make the best of it.
Yeah, but give Donnie a lot of credit because he said he came in with a new slate, and he understands kids have to grow up, and he's done a great job with Davis this year.
Watson, nice pass inside. Mills can't finish it. Stephens with the rebound. That is his 3rd already. Memphis has missed their last 5 shots. But Shaq Goodwin, the freshman, ends that.
Great job of getting the ball inside, but I am surprised how many shots around the basket Southern Miss is getting, whether or not they're making them or not, but they really are getting some really close-in opportunities.
Got it up again at 15. Davis unknots it with a 3. Davis with the 3-pointer. He's got 11 in the ball game already.
And that time he just ran off the pin-down screen, got to the corner, and was wide open.
Goodwin pulls it down, works the right hand from the left side.
Again, right now, with Memphis, Ron, being able to pass the ball so well, they're looking for passing angles where they can feed the post, either from up top or from the wing.
This time Brooks pops out, works off the pick by Carey. Patient offensively. Carey loses the handle, last touch by Memphis. That'll bring Rashard McGill back into the lineup. McGill, the senior out of Havana, Florida. Here's a guy, McGill, an energy guy. We look at Mills, he's an energy guy, but McGill's the kind of guy that he says, I'll play any role you want, coach. You want 12 of those kind of guys on your team.
Without question, he's a pretty good shooter also, Ron.
5 on the shot clock for Watson. He looks up. Shot clock at 2. Shot clock at 1. And once the ball went in the hands of Cedric Jenkins, I don't think Cedric knew how much time was left.
No, and that's Watkins' job to be able to tell the rest of the team as a point guard how much time is left. Whenever you take the ball out of bounds, you should automatically look at the shot clock.
Have we seen the 2-3 matchup yet? Zone by Southern Miss? We haven't seen it.
No.
That's what we usually see with them, though.
Without question, but you know, they're playing a little bit more 1-3-1 today. Maybe they picked some things up from the first game and felt this was the most effective defense.
Another rejection by Boardingham. He's got 2 in the ball game. 31 for the season, and Davis on the drive.
This Southern Miss team is playing with a lot of confidence.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Ron, they are challenging Memphis's bigs inside.
Memphis cannot get into a 1-on-5 situation offensively here. Goodwin inside over Boardingham. This time not a block, but a miss. Memphis gets it back. Thomas, the turnaround baby hook.
And again, Thomas does so many things, that time on the offensive glass. Right now, Southern Miss is trying to set up a play, probably for Davis.
And the crowd gets into it here at the FedEx Forum. Watson has it knocked away off Watson's leg, and it belonged to Memphis. Southern Miss's defense has been outstanding. Boardingham comes up with his second block, and that leads to the easy 2. That's why they lead it by 1.
Let them dominate in the block area, in the paint area, and it's made a huge difference.
Jen, you were in Memphis's huddle. Josh Pastner's words, what were they?
Well, first I'm going to start with some words from some of the Southern Miss players, because they said this was going to be about toughness, and that was echoed by Josh Pastner in his huddle. He said, we just have to play harder. These are 2 high-level teams. We've got a good ball game. You guys really need to bring a little more effort, especially on the defensive end, which, as you know, Ron, they worked a lot on yesterday.
About an hour's worth, to be honest. Well, Southern Miss, they make up with the lack of height with this aggressive defense. That's going to be a foul called. That'll be on McGill. That'll be his first personal. 15 foul on Southern Miss. They lead it by 1. Both teams shooting 38.9%. Both teams 7 of 18 from the floor. Can't get any more even than that, Coach.
No, you can't.
And another turnover for Memphis. That is 4, and then Southern Miss returns the favor. Goodwin tapped the basket.
And it looked like it could be an intentional foul, Ron, because he grabbed him up around the shoulder area. They'll probably have to go to the monitor for this. That's got to be intentional. And I just think he was frustrated. He was frustrated because he lost the ball. And you have to control your emotions.
And this could be a big turnaround because it is going to be an intentional foul. You know, and I think Neil Watson is a pretty heady player, and he was just trying to do something, but sometimes you got to be smarter than that.
You have to be.
The refs are probably going to look at it, but Memphis with the lead. Goodwin to increase it.
You know, that might be a real big turning point because Southern Miss has come up with a good steal, and all of a sudden they lose it. Now they give up a 3-point play, and Memphis going to have a chance to get 2 more foul shots.
Yeah, Goodwin will get another. Ronnie Tyndall can't believe it.
And that was a good call, Ron.
I think it was 2. But if you're going to foul somebody, make sure they don't make the basket.
Well, at that point, almost he didn't really have a play. I'm sorry, he had 1 more shot. He didn't have a play, so he just should have let the basket go and play on for the next play.
So it's a 4-point play, possibly more for the Tigers. Thomas to Johnson, who almost lost it.
Because I say Memphis is really tough right now.
And Josh Pastner jumping up and down, yelling defense. Davis, he is going to be fouled as Thomas was leaning on him. DJ Steffen said he had a vertical leap of 41 in high school, much taller now.
It's like he shot out of a cannon. I mean, he's an unbelievable athlete. I mean, you can't defend that. That's airspace. You can't take that away.
Jen Hildreth, you and I, one of our favorite players in college basketball is DJ.
Oh, come on. When you see a guy dunk like that, how can you not love it? And I think you threw this stat out there earlier, Ron. It's a pretty good one. If you consider coming into this game, And they've even updated it. These guys in the truck are good. Of his 107 career dunks, he has 49 this season. And just so you know, coming into the game, that was a 64% rate of his made field goals were dunks. And as DJ told me, well, you know, when I get the ball around the basket, it just makes more sense to me to dunk it than to do anything else. And I said, well, I think when you consider your range around the basket, it's a little wider than most. And he laughed and agreed.
Well, they were faking that time, maybe an alley-oop. From the outside, Johnson's three, quick shot, rebounded by Watson.
It's very important right now for Southern Miss to come back with another basket.
Yeah. The running left-handed shot by Gerald Brooks, the junior out of Rochester. That was outstanding.
Without question, one of the things Memphis has to do, I think they have to do a better job containing the ball now.
And the lead back down to 2. Johnson gets up in the air so much, getting himself in trouble like that is Chris Crawford. He hits his second three-pointer of the ball game.
And again, the penetration helps give the shooters a spot up in time to knock down the threes.
Brooks trying to shake away now from Crawford. Brooks, an outstanding junior college player at Casper College. 13 on the shot clock. Southern Miss has it. Crawford got the range.
Again, big-time shot. The spacing, Ron, is so good. These guys understand when a guy penetrates, if I find the open spot, he's going to hit me with the pass.
Once again, he had 4 versus Southern Miss in the first meeting beyond the arc. He's got 2 already today. Here's the young man, Chris Crawford, that was in an incredible shooting slump early on. Boardingham, finger roll, a la George Gervin. That was pretty. Closing in on 5 minutes left in the opening half. That's a kick. And the post up here by Davion Boardingham.
And the key to that right there is the ball fakes. Once you get up in the air, you expose yourself, and that's what Southern Miss has been doing, getting the ball on the block and being able to take advantage of the lack of Memphis to be able to stop it.
He's one of those guys, Boardingham, that's also increased his numbers in conference play. Jackson, they're working around Goodwin. Puts it inside. Stephens lost the handle. It'll belong to Southern Miss with 4:56 left in the half.
Ron, one reason this zone is so good, you talk about the size and Southern Miss being smaller, but they make up for it in quickness. They are so quick. When the ball's in the air, they're moving, so by the time a guy receives it, he's looking up at a defensive player.
And Watson will bring it up slowly. Pastor tells his squad, play slow on offense, fast on defense. Davis backing in, uses that pump fake and drains it. Dwayne Davis is on fire. 16 of the 27 points belong to the senior out of Philly. From the outside, Crawford with the 3. His third of the ball game.
And I tell you again, this Memphis team, they spot up and they find the open guy, and if they can continue to shoot like that, what they have to do, though, Ron, is make some stops on the defensive end. They either have to front the guys in the post or maybe send somebody down to help, because all Southern Miss is doing is backing them down.
Mills, whistle and a foul. Going back to Davis, the last 2 games he's had his worst field goal percentage in the season, and today he's 5 of 8. He's got 16 points. That's why Southern Miss is within 4 of Memphis.
Lobster, lobster, lobster. How do you know it's a Quiznos sub? Lobster. The lobster and seafood salad sub is back and made with real lobster for a limited time only at Quiznos.
Some lucky dogs have that perfect amount of gray hair that everyone loves. Now it's easy to be one of them with Touch of Gray. The formula takes away a little gray without getting rid of it all. Touch of Gray. Now's a perfect time.
I really should have followed the GPS.
I'll just ask this guy.
Infiniti G Sedan, because luxury should inspire confidence.
It's not from around here.
No matter what road you take. Right now, you can lease an Infiniti G Sedan for only $299 a month for 24 months. Infiniti, inspired performance.
Legends end up here. But they start here. After making history by winning the pole, Danica Patrick looks to shock the world again. The Daytona 500, Sunday on Fox.
Let's take a look at our game summary. 31-27 is our score. Both teams at 48%. Three-point field goal, though, belongs to Memphis. 4 of 9, and they've already turned it over 5 times. But the key to them is Chris Crawford. Here's a young man that was in a terrible shooting slump this year, but he just kept shooting and got out of it.
Well, one of the things is he's being much more patient, and he's taking good shots. And because of that, his teammates are finding him, and he's concentrating on spotting up when he gets his rotation down, and he has really matured, I think, a lot this season, and that's been one of the reasons for Memphis being so successful.
Right, he's coming off an 11-point, 13-rebound, 9-assist game versus Houston. If you're Josh Pastner, I think you've got to be a little concerned that Jaren Johnson, who had 25 points in the first meeting between these two teams, only has had one shot today, 0 for 1. Mills goes to the line. I'd say we've known Jonathan Mills a while. You actually recruited him, and I asked him today, I said, listen, Perry said you were kind of a knucklehead out of high school.
I didn't say that.
My word, not coaches. But he says he's matured.
He was a fierce competitor, and sometimes he would even challenge his own teammate. Now he only challenges the people wearing the opposite uniform, but he's a kid that really hates to lose.
Oh, he's such a nice young man, a member of the all-defensive team last season at Conference USA, third team All-CUSA.
See, out of this defense, one of the guards drops to the middle to try to take away the high post passes.
Clocker just rifling the pass to Johnson. Sometimes you got to make a simple pass, don't you?
Well, you do, but I tell you what, the Southern Miss is so quick out of that defense, and so their lack of size actually is an advantage because instead of size, they use quickness to defend you.
And Farrakhan Hall's come back into the lineup, or come into the lineup for the first time for Memphis. Number 0, the senior out of right here in Memphis. He's one of those guys that always is ready no matter how many minutes he plays. The steal, Johnson, shot time.
He showed up for you.
There you go. First field goal made for Jaren Johnson.
And that's what Memphis has to be able to do, create some offense out of their defense because they're just that good defensively.
And the lead is 5. Biggest lead for the Tigers in this ball game. Brooks. Almost lost the handle, regained it. Hall can't get it. Brooks does. Inside of 3 to play in the half. They'll give Mills that shot all day. Birmingham again, offensive foul. He got away with it just about 5 minutes ago. Not that time. Went the boom on DJ Smith.
And he knew he did it, and the referee on the baseline didn't call it, but the referee that had the better angle did make the call. And all he did was turn. That's obvious offensive foul. And, you know, he just kind of smiled and said, you got me.
We're not saying that DJ Stephens was acting, but he is going to Los Angeles for Sunday's Academy Awards. That's the 3rd foul, by the way, on Birmingham. He has to sit. Jackson for 3. Buries it.
And again, Crawford initiated the offense to move Jackson to the wing, and now Jackson stepped up and knocked down the jump shot.
8-1 run for the Memphis Tigers. Mills on top. Brooks the southpaw with the 3 in and out. Goodwin goes high for the rebound. The foul's going to be called against Southern Miss.
They are an impressive rebounding team, Memphis, when they want to go get it. I mean, they play above the rim.
Foul was on Mills. That is his 2nd personal foul. Rashard McGill's going to come in. Davis will sit down, and I think Jonathan just wants a little explanation, but we'll go down the other end with Shaq Goodwin. He'll shoot free throws. He's 2 of 4 so far in the ball game. He's got 8 points.
You know what was so impressive when we walked in to watch Memphis practice? How well the kids get along with each other and how they were encouraging each other. And certainly this has become Josh Pastner's team. Sometimes when you take over a program, it takes a while before it really becomes your team, your program. And this 17-game win streak is certainly a lot to do with these kids coming together and understanding playing for Josh.
Goodwin out. Farrakhan Hall comes back into the lineup. I'll tell you what, Shaq Goodwin playing much better than he did in the first meeting between these two teams. Didn't have any rebounds in 13 minutes. And Goodwin today already with 2 rebounds to go along with his double-digit 10 points. 2 minutes to play in the half. Mills, last touch by Stephens, but it goes to Brooks. Inside, rejection. Might have been a foul. Stephens goes hard to the floor. Crawford for 3. He is on fire.
This building is coming.
Because of this depth they have and the different parts they have to this team.
And the fact that they pass the ball so well, it makes them more efficient running good half-court offense.
It all starts with their head coach, Josh Pastner. Important time in the last 125 for the Golden Eagles. They played so well up until the last few minutes. Mills, the left-handed shot won't go. With Jonathan Mills now 0 for 4 shooting the basketball. Memphis has hit 9 of their last 10, 9 of the last 11. Whistle and a foul on DJ Stephens. That'll be his first personal.
But that's what he does. He's such an energy guy that he's going to challenge every drive. He's going to challenge, go get every rebound.
Once again, we've mentioned this in previous telecasts, but he hasn't practiced since October because of the shoulder, you see, the left shoulder. It is so painful, but we saw him take a number of spills in games against Louisville, against Harvard. And how he plays in that pain is beyond a lot of us.
I tell you what, Ron, if he plays like this every day, he wouldn't have to practice much for me. Just show up, big fella.
And here's been the offense for Southern Miss. Davis now with 17 of their 29 points.
Southern Miss at halftime is going to have to find somebody that they can put with Davis to help them score some points.
And he's got 18. In the first half, once again, 25 versus Memphis the first meeting. Final 1 minute. Crawford, Stephens, Goodwin, basket.
See how well they pass the basketball around. It's awful tough to zone a team that moves the ball and passes and catches that well.
13 assists on their 15 field goals made for the Tigers. About a 12-second difference shot on the game clock. Mills, he'll try the baseline jumper. Still having problems ripping the nets today. Memphis. The shot clock turned off. Crawford hit as he shoots. He'll go to the line for 3 as Davis hacks him. Rule number 1, according to Hubie Brown, don't foul a jump shooter, right?
Without question. I wasn't sure if they were going to go for the shot or go for the last shot, but Crawford had a good look and decided he was hot, Ron.
Chris Crawford, 12 points in the ball game, all of his field goals from beyond the arc.
You know,
and here is Crawford on the season from the free throw line, solid at 84%. Coming up at halftime, the State Farm Halftime Show. We'll break down the first half between these two teams. Plus, you don't want to miss our special feature at halftime. Jen Hildreth gets put through the paces with a Memphis Tigers strength and conditioning coach Conan, the strength coach, I think is his better name. But just to see Jen work out, and you and I looked at it and got tired.
Yes, indeed.
Now the referees are going to look at, so they're going to check the clock just to make sure.
Okay.
The clock didn't stop, just checking. And here's Jen working out. This is the easy, well, not so easy part. And the masked man will introduce you to him. You'll never see his face, though. There is this. You don't get that. Doesn't do it justice. This thing is almost straight up and down.
I'm telling you, that's incredible.
Unless it has snow on it and I'm on a toboggan, I'm not going down it. You know. Final 18.6 seconds. 44-30. It was a close game, and then Memphis just went on a major run. And since Goodwin's intentional foul play, Memphis has outscored Southern Miss by 13, 23-10.
And again, I mean, this Memphis team shares the basketball so well. And they have so many people on this team that you don't have to call their special play for them, and they can really hurt you. Whether or not it's Johnson, whether or not it's Black, whether or not it's Stephens, it doesn't matter. Those guys can find a way of getting the basketball and making things happen.
It'll have another. And the lead increases. Memphis 21-1 when they lead at halftime. Memory serves me right, only the Louisville game is the game they lost when they led an intermission. Golden Eagles have not hit a field goal since the 4:36 mark, and it will stay that way. Stephens, the long shot. Chris Crawford, he's back with the fire.
Assist. 2-13. I just think that's the key in the shooting percentage because Memphis is getting easier shots.
Memphis actually 6 of 11 from beyond the arc. And they'll have the basketball to begin the second half. They started out slowly with their ball movement, gradually kicked it up. Goodwin has it stripped by Watson. Nice play by Neil Watson. Last touch by Southern Miss. Jen, you had a chance to talk to Josh Pastner.
I did, and he's want to speak about the other team, the other coach. Every time I talked to him, I tried to get him to say what his team was doing so well, especially on that run to the half. And he said, well, 13 assists on 15 made field goals, and we defended well. Our goal is to keep the other team under 40% from the floor and under 30% from three. They just about did that, so he felt pretty good. But he said, make sure you put in there that the head coach of that other team, they're very well coached. I think his is too.
Jerry Johnson started out cold from the field. He's hit his last 2 field goals, and the lead goes to 19. Inside, can't get anything going. And if you're USM, you got to find somebody besides Davis to score. They only had 2 assists, Perry, in that first 20 minutes.
They did because Memphis has gotten them broken down to basically where they're going one-on-one. And even when they're penetrating, they're not getting easy, uncontested shots.
Jaron Johnson, the junior out of Dayton, Ohio. This is pretty.
And I tell you what, that's the thing with this Memphis team, that wings can all shoot the ball, whether or not it's Johnson, Crawford, whether or not they move Jackson to the wing, it doesn't matter. They all can really knock down some jump shots.
He has 5 points to go along with 5 assists. The floater by Brooks. Rebound, Mills has it taken away. Memphis will have numbers. Jackson, Goodwin hangs in the air. Blocking foul.
And I tell you what, Shaq has come on, and he has really helped this Memphis team just with their attitude. He has fun in practice. He bangs guys around. They like to get him in transition, but he has given this Memphis team, I think, some personality.
Absolutely, and Donnie Tyndall's got to be a little concerned as the basket was good. And now it's a big lead for Memphis, 52-30.
Well, they've got a lot of time to play. They just got to get into something that works. You know, you got to find an offense that gets you some easy looks. You got to find a defense that stops them. You got to get something that works.
You know, the old adage, and you and I have talked about it over the years, there's no such thing as a 22-point play. You got to be patient, but you can't become selfish during this time.
Without question. And, you know, for Donnie, the other part of it is you won 20 games. You know, you're going to win some more. And trying to get in that NCAA tournament, this game is huge just because of the RPI and also because Memphis is atop the league. So all of that kind of goes into it right now.
Goodwin on the miss. Here comes Southern Miss. Davis shooting 63%, the rest of the team 26%. Memphis running, Donnie Tyndall's nightmare. You heard him talk to Jen just before intermission. Jackson. Oh, he had a look at it. Johnson's got a better one. Thomas, rebound, put back, no. Good job on the boards by Davion Boardingham. What a move. Davis to the hole, and he gets the two.
Great move there, but again, Memphis, I thought, was very unselfish. That was a perfect example, guys passing up shots to get a better shot.
And even though the lead is 20 Memphis, you don't want to get careless. Watson has it rejected by Shaq Goodwin. And over the stands goes DJ Stephens.
I tell you what, he just hurdled everybody. This crowd appreciates this energy. You know, Ron, I played in this building. I coached against Penny Hardaway, Elliot Perry. I mean, when this building gets alive, these fans are great basketball fans. They appreciate effort and hard work, and they truly appreciate this Memphis team.
Shaq Goodwin with his 32nd block of the year, and it was an emphatic one. But Southern Miss will have it. It's kind of like the old David Robinson adage. It's great blocking a shot, but try to keep it in bounds where your teammates can get it. It looked good, but it didn't help any. Except after the miss, Black with a rebound. Here comes Jackson. Blowing by the defense. Hanging in the air for the two.
This is not the game Southern Miss wants to get into right now.
Watson down the other end, and he's going to be hammered by Tariq Black. That'll be 3 on Black, and Watson is down. He went down hard the last couple of plays. Let's go back to DJ Stephens' little Superman action here. Here comes the block, and this is pure hustle here. No! I mean, he went completely over the dude in the yellow and blue sweater.
He's an unbelievable athlete and leaper. You know, but the thing about this Memphis team, you walk into practice, it doesn't take you long to understand that this is a good basketball team because of their chemistry, the respect for the coaches. The coaches were making comments. It was yes, coach, no, coach, yes, sir, no, sir. This Memphis team, the culture of this team has really changed. You've seen them play more than I have, but I've just been so impressed with the job Josh and his staff has done to get this team to where it is right now today. This is a really good basketball team.
I tell you what, I don't think Josh Pastner gets enough credit for this team. I mean, you and I have been talking about this is the best job Memphis, but it also is one of the more difficult jobs because everybody expects you to be 40-0 every year.
Well, but a lot of that has to go with maturation of it being your team, and that takes some time. You know, when I walked into Miami, I followed Leonard Hamilton, and it took me 2 years before they said, okay, it's your team, you know, and we wound up having a pretty good year. And I think now these guys understand who the leader is on this team. They're accepting it, and they're enjoying their style of play.
Now the lead is 20. DJ Stephens, by the way, has gone to the Memphis locker room. We'll get an update as soon as it becomes available. Black, the offensive rebound. Jackson for 3.
You know, I'm looking at Donnie, and I'm thinking, what can you do?
I know.
And when the ball's not going in and they're getting every rebound, again, all you can try to do is tighten up and find some offense that works, some defense that works.
That time Black showed a double on Davis, and he still scores.
And that was a tough shot.
Absolutely. He is a scoring machine, Dwayne Davis. This time Thomas is going to be fouled on the play. We are inside of 16 minutes, which means a timeout. Memphis had a big lead at halftime, and they continue to have a big lead here in the second.
Hi, I'm Danny Manning, head coach of Tulsa men's basketball team.
And I'm Mathilda Moss.
Wings are so talented, and they all can shoot the ball, they all can drive the ball. It's just tough to play against them.
Well, you know, you talk about, guys like, obviously, Johnson. He's got 5 assists, too.
Without putting it, did I mention Crawford?
Yeah, Crawford, yeah, exactly. Thomas with the jumper, a little strong. Rebound pulled down by Cedric Jenkins, who's checked into the lineup for the first time in the second half for the Golden Eagles.
You know, you asked me about Southern Miss and what would Donnie should do. I think at this point, you said, let's go back and do what we've done. Let's execute our offense. Let's get back to playing Southern Miss basketball. Forget this game right now. Let's just execute.
Well, you can't have just 2 assists. That's tough. Davis gives it up. Brooks for the 3, and with a hand in his face.
If our game is penetrating pitch, let's penetrate and pitch. If our game is getting the ball into the low post, let's get the ball in the low post. Let's do what we do right now.
Now, Brooks has 80, averages just under 11 a ball game as we've played 5 minutes here in the second half. Jackson for 3. It keeps raining threes. Now 9 of 16 for Memphis.
You know, you say, well, Southern Miss isn't playing defense. That's not true.
No.
What they're doing in their zone is they're trying to take away the middle. And so the top guy is dropping to be able to do that, which leaving the wings open, and Memphis is making shots.
And Brooks hits his second three-pointer in a row. He's got 11 in the ball game. And here's the pressure. Thomas. Goodwin throws it away into the hands of Brooks. Trying to beat Johnson. He'll hang. Tough shot. Chris Crawford set to check back into the lineup for the Memphis Tigers.
The one reason why Memphis is tough for Southern Miss, when they go to double out of their pressure, this Memphis team can find the open guy. Yesterday, Josh talked about sucking up the double team and making the next play.
Well, there was the mismatch with Shaq Goodwin on Dwayne Davis. Goodwin's got about 4 inches on him.
Yeah, and that's why they keep dropping the guard.
Yeah.
But when they drop the guard to help, they get rained on with threes. The guards stay out, and the big guys dominate them.
I think that's the definition of conundrum. Jenkins inside. Mills with his first field goal made. He started out 0 for 6. And the lead's down to 18. Memphis is led by 23. 3 assists the last 3 possessions to the entire first half of Southern Miss. It's amazing what you do when you share the basketball.
It just makes defense a nightmare.
Black has to give it up for the 3. Another one. Adonis Thomas. And now it's 10 of 17 for the Memphis Tigers from beyond the arc.
And Jonathan Mills just put his head down and shook it. Because what can you do? Because they're working as hard as they can. Southern Miss is on defense.
From the outside, Brooks good as he lets it go. Pulled down by Jackson. He throws it right into the hands of Davis. Davis gives it up inside the Mills.
And again, Southern Miss has not gotten a lot off of their pressure.
No. Johnson. They give it up. Thomas over Davis. This time the 3 won't go. Cedric Jenkins, nice job grabbing the rebound, and he's fouled on the play. And it'll be a Shaq Goodwin. That'll be his 3rd personal. But the 3s are flowing for the Tigers.
And again, because you see right there, the Southern Miss collapse. They find the open guy, and he knocks it down. And again, Memphis is just really sharing the ball as Thomas knocked down the 3.
And we've got a timeout, 65-46. Memphis shooting 57% beyond the arc.
For over a century, they've been drawn here, searching for inspiration and the freedom to express themselves. Today, at the heart of the city, a haven for the spirit lives on. A place where curiosity is transformed into unexpected creativity, where a little ingenuity leads to a world of opportunity. Here, generations discover what it means to dream, to think, and to do. The University of Memphis.
America's #1 weight loss brand helps you lose weight your way. New Sprinkles, drink mix, caplets, or new great tasting gummies.
I lost 47 pounds. I feel beautiful. Hydroxycut really works.
I'm a teenage girl. My BFF Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now I'm emotionally compromised and whoopsies. I'm all, OMG, Becky's not even hot. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
If you think today is exciting, wait till tomorrow because NASCAR returns to Fox for the 55th running of the Great American Race with a female driver in the pole position for the first time in history. Danica Patrick leads the field. It's the Sprint Cup Series debut of the Gen 6 cars, which put the stock back into stock car racing. The Daytona 500 tomorrow at noon Eastern only on Fox. So the Gen 6 cars can't draft as much, obviously. And it's expected to be an incredibly close race. Go Tony Stewart. Brooks all the way. DJ Stephens, get that egg out of my basket.
Incredible leaping. Again, these are the plays that kind of take the heart out of a team. Brooks looked like he had a layup. Stephens comes across and throws it into the stand.
DJ Stephens, 3 blocks today, 62 on the season. He is the smoothest jumper I think I've seen in a long time. Brooks from the outside, the 3 won't go. Stephens with a rebound.
And he jumps with purpose, though. A lot of times you get athletes like that and they just jump for jumping's sake. And he jumps with a purpose.
Black can't get it to go. The lead stays at 19. From the outside, the 3, nothing but the bottom of the net for Rashard McGill.
And McGill's a capable shooter. I think Southern Miss now is starting to string some baskets together. They have to make some stops.
If you're Memphis, we mentioned it earlier, you cannot get sloppy. This is a team, a Southern Miss team, don't forget, that has won over 20 games. Crawford will try the 3. Offensive rebound, long shot, long rebound. Aaron Johnson a little out of control. Mays comes up with it. Plenty of time left in this ball game. Brooks, the hesitation. Stephens goes for the block, doesn't get it. Goes again for the block, but Mills over the outstretched hand of DJ Stephens. And the lead is just 14. It was 23.
And again, Southern Miss hitting the offensive glass.
7-0 run for the Golden Eagles. Shot clock inside of 15. Black gives it up. Jackson. Crawford for 3. Stephens can't get the offensive rebound, and the Golden Eagles with a golden opportunity. Brooks has it rejected by Johnson. Jackson to the hole, and he is going to be fouled. Memphis playing outstanding offense and pretty good defense, led by the blocks, counting 3 by DJ Stephens, but the Golden Eagles not going anywhere.
Lobster, lobster, lobster. How do you know it's a Quiznos sub? Lobster. The lobster and seafood salad sub is back and made with real lobster for a limited time only at Quiznos.
It's Pep Boys Million Tire Marathon. Buy one tire from an incredible $39.98. Buy 2 tires and get a free oil change, or buy 3 tires and get the 4th tire free. Top brands at the lowest prices guaranteed. Nobody beats Pep Boys on tires.
Are you struggling to pay your credit card or medical bills? Are you behind on your mortgage or facing foreclosure? To see if bankruptcy is the right solution for you, call 888-LAW-9600. For over 15 years, the law offices of David I. Penkin has helped thousands of clients get a fresh financial start. Bankruptcy can eliminate your debt and you can still reestablish credit.
Bankruptcy is not the end. It's a new beginning.
Call 888-LAW-9600 for your free consultation.
So, you both bought new notebooks, huh?
Yeah, mine was really cheap. I got the lowest price.
At PC Richard & Son, you get the guaranteed lowest prices on computers, tablets, and e-readers.
Well, mine came with this. Mine too. And I got them. Who are they?
That's our award-winning sales team.
And I got them too. Okay, who are they?
Only the best computer repair team in the business.
They can actually fix these things. I didn't get them.
No, you didn't.
I got a great deal.
Yes, you did. PC Richard & Son. Why buy anywhere else?
Rangers, Canadians. Coverage gets underway tonight at 6:30 on MSG.
Southern Miss on a 7-0 run, trying to get back in this thing against Memphis. Donnie Tyndall working hard there as the head coach for the Golden Eagles, but he knows how to let loose too. You might have heard of this phenomenon on the internet, the Harlem Shake. Donnie Tyndall watching on, he says, never gonna happen. But, oh, look at the head coach getting into it. Oh, guys, you just have to love that. And the Southern Miss people told me, I don't know how accurate this is, that as far as they know, this is the only Harlem Shake edition with the head coach in the middle of it doing the dancing.
You know, I got to be the only person. I have no idea what that is. Everybody keeps talking. I went to a store and said, can I get a Harlem Shake, preferably chocolate? And the guy looking at the guy was an idiot, you know. That's right. You got to understand, too, that is so out of character for Coach Hudson.
Yeah, well, he said, you know, I'm a pretty direct, straightforward kind of guy, and it's kind of nice every now and then when I can let my hair down. And that was after Wednesday's win, by the way. Just a couple of days ago, over 80,000 hits on YouTube.
And get this, Perry. Jen wanted our crew to do it. That got shot down like real quick. No. We're going to have her do that next week instead of working out. Here's our situation inside of 10 minutes. The lead down to 16. Mills battling on the inside. The offensive tip out the basket. Tip your hat for the Golden Eagles, but if you're Memphis, you've missed your last 5 field goal attempts. You've gone over 3.5 minutes without a field goal made. Stephens again.
Well, he saw that.
From the outside, the 3, nothing but the bottom of the net for Rashard McGill. McGill now with 8 points in the ball game.
And I think the Southern Miss team is really showing you something, Ron. They are competing. They just got to figure out a way to come up with some stops and rebounds.
Inside Stephens, and he is fouled on the play. But DJ Stephens doing it all today. 7 rebounds in this big-time slam.
Again, you talk about a guy you don't have to run a play for. He's just around the basket, finds a way. That's just great athleticism right there. But the key thing with him is he plays so hard, Ron. He's always trying to make the play. He's never out of a play. No matter where a shot goes up when he's on the floor, he finds his way to the basket.
And Jen Hildreth, you know, you've spent a lot of time with him over this whole course of the season.
Well, it's pretty incredible to think. When I talked to DJ, he told me he actually considered redshirting this year. He went into Josh Pastner's office over the summer because he wasn't sure how he was going to fit in on this team. Remember, he averaged just 8 minutes per game last year. But just imagine if that had happened. What a huge role he's played for this team this year.
That's why players should play and coaches should coach.
There you go. There you go. And the lead goes back to 15, and Josh Pastner now trying to keep his team from getting a little complacent. Memphis now with 5 players in double figures. Just like all over again, the first meeting, Mills just using that strength he has at 6'4", 240 pounds.
Well, he's taking advantage of Goodwin, who's a freshman, of using his angles and everything
to get close to the basket and making some easy shots.
Crawford. And they've gone cold from the outside, but the offensive rebounding continues to be good for the Tigers. Goodwin splits it, but Davis is called for the foul. And that'll be the second personal foul on Davis.
And the one thing you see here with Mills, you know, he keeps his eye on the basket. Even with the size and people closing in, he doesn't ever lose sight of where the basket is, so that allows him to make finishes. And I think he's hurt on the sideline.
Mills is down, and he has had trouble getting up. And the baseline, the floater. No, whistle blocking foul. That's going to go against Borningham, and that'll be his 5th personal foul.
And with him going out and Mills is hurt, it really now will put Southern Miss in a tough spot.
Well, Mills went down hard and was yelling at the officials that he was in a world of hurt. Borningham will have to go out of the ball game. He'll leave with only 2 points and 5 rebounds. Below his 8-point scoring average. And now Tony Tyndall's going to have to bring in somebody else. Once again, this team was down by 23 points in the ball game at the 16:31 mark just about 8 minutes ago. And they've cut it down to 13. Impressive.
And this is important next 4 or 5 minutes because if Southern Miss can continue to come back and come up with a couple stops, it could be a nail biter in the last 3 to 4 minutes of the game. And for Memphis, what they want to do is they want to defensively start settling in and getting back to making some stops. And the ball is penetrating far too much on them right now.
Crawford, who was on fire in the first half, second half 0 for 3, all of them coming from beyond the arc. But he's a shooter, right? He just keeps shooting.
Well, he is, but you know, concentration is important. And when a guy's hot, sometimes you don't want halftime. You just want to keep playing.
Just think if you would have made that half-court shot at halftime. That's like mega hot. Watson, nice ball fake. No place to go. Brooks works off the pick, little screen roll. Losing the handle, rejected by Steffens, but not the second time. Norville carry the freshman. And the lead is back to a dozen.
And I think Brooks has made a huge difference for Southern Miss because he's been aggressively attacking the basket, which has broken down the Memphis defense.
Inside of 8 minutes, and that's going to be a foul as they triple team Shaq Goodwin. That also means we've got a timeout. Fouls on Watson. His third will return with Memphis leading by a dozen.
So, if you have a flat tire...
Bobby is done, and I think it's interesting that when he first took over, even Neil Watson and some of the guys said they realized from the very beginning this was his team. And if you're going to play, it's a different style than Coach Eustace. You did a great job there. Is different. You got to play Donnie's system, and he made it very clear. Kudos to him.
And he does it in a non-threatening way because he really is a nice guy. But he understands the culture of Southern Miss. He understands that recruiting area. He's the right fit and is going to do an outstanding job.
Southern Miss 2 assists on 10 field goals made the first half. Second half, 7 assists on 12 field goals made. That's why they've cut this lead down. Watson off balance shot. Rebound, Goodwin.
You know, they have a lot of confidence in Goodwin. Black, who I thought was their best inside player, sat most of this half, and Goodwin has done a really good job.
He is a freshman, Coach, too. He is just a freshman. Steffens whistling a foul underneath. He was trying to whistle it inside. And Jonathan Mills will come back into the lineup as McGill picks up his third personal foul for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, and again, Stephen gives them such a versatility. He can play the 3 or the 4 and allows them to be able to be a little quicker on the perimeter defensively also.
This college basketball season, Fox Sports is proud to partner with the Prostate Cancer Foundation, the world's largest supporter of prostate cancer research. 1 in 6 American men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. To learn more, please visit www.pcf.org/FoxSports. DJ Stephens, as one writer called him, according to all the statistics, the most efficient player in the NCAA. Gets them both and pushes the lead back to 16.
He's one of the most exciting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. And Watson, as we close in on 7 minutes to play. Brooks has done a nice job in the second half. McGill off balance. Mills, no. Jackson goes high for the rebound. That is his 5th board of the ball game. Will make Coach happy. Unselfish, maybe a little too unselfish, but it still goes to DJ Stephens for his 14th point of the ball game.
You got to be impressed with Goodwin, though. I mean, for a freshman, you know, he had an easy shot, but he passed it off to an easier shot.
6-0 run now for the Tigers. Mills blocking foul on Goodwin. That is his 4th personal foul. Let's go back to that last pass, Coach.
But I tell you, they really look for Goodwin in transition, and he's always looking to try to find the next guy. And Stephens with the great finish. And just when you get Goodwin out, guess who they come back with? Mr. Black.
Yeah. you take him out and you bring another big body in. A little confusion there on the inbounds. Davis, no, but he'll go to the line.
And Davis has been a little quiet in this half, but, you know, other people have been able to step up and make plays for Southern Miss, especially Mr. Brooks. I think his penetration has really helped them get back in this game a little bit.
Black picked up his 4th personal foul, and Davis at the line. He's got 23 in the ball game. 27, Davis's career high. Boy, he is a scoring machine, though, as he gets the second. Look out. Don't be jumping over our table now.
Yeah, I was about to say, the last thing Memphis wants to do now is turn it over, because you can expect Southern Miss to really try to heat up the pressure.
And it's still just a 16-point game with over 6 minutes left. Davis to Watson. That's a 3. And here comes Memphis. Joe Jackson, 13 points to go along with 3 assists and 5 rebounds. Been running the show for the Tigers today. Thomas to pull up from 14, rattles it around. Watson to Davis. The reverse by Dwayne Davis.
That was smart. He used the basket that time to protect against the block.
And Dwayne Davis closing in on a new career high. He's got 26. One off it. Alley. Oop to Stephens, a little strong. Able to keep it alive. Second time today he goes into the ground. Fans thought he was pushed. He's got that little right-handed foot shot, doesn't he?
Thank goodness he didn't redshirt. He's really been an effective play on that baseline.
Stephens with 16 in the ball game. Mills tries to force the pass on the inside off the hands of McGill. And DJ Stephens now with a new career high.
And he just asked for a blow. He gets a well-deserved hand.
16 points, 7 rebounds, and at least 3 blocks for Stephens. A career high 16 points.
And right now, Memphis technically is going with 4 guards. And that's the ability they have because of the athleticism of Johnson and Crawford and Thomas.
Thomas can handle the basketball.
Oh, without question.
Closing in on about 4.5. Johnson, nice pass inside. Thomas leans in against the defense. The lead back to 18.
This is a tough team to pressure right now that Memphis has on the floor.
Jenkins, Watson, they work it around the three. Off the mark, rebound controlled by McGill. McGill again with the left hand. No, this time snatching it out is Thomas. 3-on-2. The pull-up. Jackson with the deuce. And the lead is back to 20.
They are so explosive because of the fact that all of these guys that we talked about can rebound the ball, they all can handle, and they all can pass.
Southern Miss cut it to 13. That's the best they've been able to do. It was 72-60. Make that a dozen they cut it to. And now with 3 minutes and 40 seconds, time's on the side of the Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, and again, you're behind, you need to double. But when a team can pass as well as this Memphis team can pass, it makes it awful tough to double.
That's going to be an offensive foul. Johnson running over Mills. We've got a timeout as Johnson picks up his second personal foul, but Memphis shooting 48%, Southern Miss 38, but Memphis leads it by 20.
The same enthusiasm that he has. If you ever leave him a message, he always has a word for you on his phone about enthusiasm, working hard, or something like that. That's just the way he's built.
Jen and I would say his word is energy. You knew he was pretty sharp when he graduated from Arizona in 2.5 years. I think that was my freshman year. No offense. Fouls on Johnson. Just a reminder, coming up next, we've got a great Pac-12 battle coming your way as number 12, Arizona, will be facing Washington State. All of that coming up immediately following our game. We saw Josh with the flashcards. He says, calls them game planning. He has from 4 to 9 cards sitting on the bench, and he won't tell anyone what they are.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, his enthusiasm has certainly spread to this team. And you also have to talk about his assistant coaches because this, you know, again, I walked into practice yesterday, the first time I had seen Memphis this year, and I was just impressed with how well they played together, how they interacted with the coaches and each other, and getting prepared for this basketball game today.
Well, with DJ Steffens a new career high, and Dwayne Davis also a new career high as he's got 28 for the Golden Eagles. We are inside of 3 to play. Crawford, great pass inside to Tarek Black, threading the needle.
I mean, these guys, I think they'd rather make a good pass than make a shot sometimes.
Unbelievable what they've done with assists today. 24 assists on 28 baskets. Over the last 4 games, they've averaged 23 assists.
And they play so hard defensively.
Crawford's 3 off the mark. Mills got it.
And you can see the obvious growth in Crawford. I mean, you know, he plays the next play. He makes a mistake. He doesn't put his head down. He just plays the next play.
Let's go back to that play ago with that great pass, which ended up being their 24th assist as Tarek Black will foul out of the ball game. But not before this.
Great drive. Looking for the assist. I mean,
And Tarek Black's going to have to sit down. His presence was felt. 5 fouls in the ball game. He ends up with 3 points, a couple of rebounds. But how about the big guy with 3 assists?
And I tell you, and him accepting his role, coming in off the bench, being positive, helping Goodwin and some of the younger guys. I mean, he's just been a really credit this year with his leadership.
Gerald Brooks will go to the line. I remember first seeing him. I went to just as a spectator a game and saw Brooks play against UCF. First thing I thought of was, this kid's a linebacker, a fullback, or a pretty hefty running back. Pretty good football player in high school, by the way.
And I tell you what, he's a really good scorer.
Oh, he is.
He's coming and really helped them today.
He's got a dozen in the ball game, but as we close in on 2 minutes, the lead is still 18.
You know, but I really think Donnie can walk out with this club and keep their heads up, and they've got some things to build upon because they did some really good things here in the second half. They got some other people to step up. This Memphis team was just too hard to stop.
Shot clock at 10. They work it around. That's a three. Memphis has cooled down considerably from beyond the arc. Up ahead to Watson. He gives it up. Brooks, the left-hander with the three, and he's got 16 in the ball game. And here's the pressure. Can't get loosey-goosey now if you're the Tigers.
But again, they have so many ball handlers in the game that if they can just get the right matchup that they want offense against defense and have that guy look to penetrate.
They work the shot clock inside of 10. Thomas. Crawford gets a great look at the three, and he makes him pay. Chris Crawford with his 5th three-pointer of the game, more than he had in the first meeting between the two. Mills offensive rebound in the putback. 1 minute to play. Johnson 1-on-5. No. So the Memphis Tigers, as Brooks misses the three, will stretch their win streak to 18, tying Akron for the best and longest win streak this season.
And I tell you, this has been an impressive win today because they were not given anything in this basketball game. Southern Miss came in with a good game plan, tried to attack them. The biggest thing for Memphis was their unselfishness. They didn't turn the ball over against pressure. They hit the glass, and they made this threes when they counted, especially early in the ball game.
There you see the win streak. Akron winning last night. Memphis will tie them today at 18. This is what Josh Pastor and company have coming up next. Now, they've got a non-conference game against Xavier. We did the game last year. That is their next game coming up. But their conference games remaining are UCF, UTEP, UAB, and, of course, the conference tournament, which will be held at the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And you can get tickets by going to Conference USA website or Ticketmaster.com. And Josh Pastor, I think he doesn't think win streaks right now. He's thinking one at a time.
No.
Just get that number one seed.
You know, you talk about a guy being focused. He is really so focused on the next play, the next game, and how to get this team better.
And they'll have to burn a timeout. Southern Miss down to the final two.
You know, but again, I think Donnie can be really positive with the ball club coming out of here. And, you know, they've got to be able to learn from this, get ready for the conference tournament, and get a good run in the conference tournament. And if he can wind up with 25 wins, 26 wins, then, you know, he could well maybe get in that large bid. I mean, because this conference certainly deserves it.
Well, he's got East Carolina at home, then he has to go down to Todd Harrien's Huntington, West Virginia to play Marshall, then UCF at home. That'll be on March the 9th, and then the 13th through the 16th is the conference tournament. Once again, we'll be seeing the same Memphis team next week on many of these same stations. They will be playing in Orlando, take on the Knights of UCF. Johnny Jones done a good job down there. That'll be a must-win for them, and the fans like it. That's going to be it. That's going to do it. And Memphis will add another win. 24-3, 16-1 at home.